And now, Andrew Does Everything proudly presents Cinderella, based on the story of Cinderella. Once upon a time, there lived a young girl named Cinderella. Cinderella had 5 ugly, mean stepsisters named Tasha, Hannah, Rena, and the twins Ellie and Emmy. Tasha, Hannah, Rena, Ellie, and Esme made Cinderella do all the chores. Sweep the floors, wash the dishes, do it all, said Tasha, Hannah, Rena, Ellie, and Emmy all together. One day, the king of Tripleville's messenger said, Hear ye, the king of Tripleville is going to throw a ball, and whoever has the most beautiful gown and crown shall marry his son, Prince Stripling. But Cinderella is not welcome. Her stepsisters are... Tasha said, He's going to marry me. Hannah said, No way, Tasha. He's going to marry me. Rena said, Both of you are wrong. He's going to marry me. Ellie said, All 3 of you are wrong. He's going to marry me. Emmy said, Are you kidding, sister? He's going to marry me. Later, Cinderella is so sad because she cannot go to the ball. Suddenly, Cinderella's fairy godmother asks what's wrong. Why are you crying, Cinderella? She asks. Cinderella responds, I can't go to the ball and marry Prince Stripling. The fairy godmother said, I can help with a bit of magic. She waved her magic wand and chanted the magic word. Triply, trappily, triply, true. And then Cinderella's chores are all done, but the fairy godmother said she's not done. He then said, Cinderella, go fetch me a good old pumpkin. Luckily, Cinderella has 3 pumpkins. The fairy godmother waved her magic wand and chanted the magic word, Triply, trappily, troppily, true. And then the 3 pumpkins turned into a handsome coach drawn by 6 strong horses. And then Cinderella's do-rag and red dress turned into a gown and crown. Cinderella said, I've never seen such a triple-tastic crown and gown. And get a load of my glass slippers. The fairy godmother said, Have fun, Cinderella, but I would warn you. Return home before midnight, or the spell will be broken. Cinderella accepted the warning. Meanwhile, at the ball, Prince Stripling was wondering who he should marry. Tasha, Hannah, Rena, Ellie, and Emmy say all together, He's walking towards me! But he's not walking towards any of them. But he's walking towards Cinderella. Cinderella and Prince Stripling dance together. But later, Cinderella realized it's almost midnight, so she scurried out of the ball. And she's running so fast that she lost one of her glass slippers. Prince Stripling was so worried. He afraid that he might never see Cinderella again. So he traveled around Tripleville to find her and brought the tiny glass slipper with him. He knocked on the door of the house where Cinderella and her ugly, mean stepsisters lived. Ladies, I have a favor to ask. Can you try on this glass slipper? Tasha first. Hannah second. Rena third, and the twins last, but none of their feet fit. Suddenly, Prince Stripling noticed Cinderella singing. She exclaimed, Prince Stripling, is that you? Prince Stripling said, Of course it's me. Fiorella gets so excited because she's happy to have Prince Tripling back. And he doesn't need to put on the glass slipper back on Fiorella's foot because it's so uncomfortable. And they both live happily ever after. The end. And now, Andrew Knows Everything proudly presents Fiverella, based on the story of Cinderella. Andrew's Doors, I hope you enjoyed it. Once upon a time, there lived a young girl named Fiverella. Fiverella had four ugly, mean stepsisters: Fiona, Isabella, Verona, and Ella. Fiona, Isabella, Verona, and Ella made Fiverella do all the chores. Sweep the floors, wash the dishes, do it all, said Fiona, Isabella, Verona, and Ella. One day, the king of Fiveham's messenger said, Hear ye, the king of Fiveham is going to throw a ball, and whoever has the most beautiful gown and crown shall marry his son, Prince Quintuppling. But Fiverella is not welcome. Her stepsisters are. Fiona said, He's going to marry me. Isabel said, No way, Fiona. He's going to marry me. Verona said, Both of you are wrong. He's going to marry me. Ella said, All three of you are wrong. He's going to marry me. Later, Fiverella is so sad that she cannot go to the ball and marry Prince Quintupling. Suddenly, her fairy godmother asks, Why are you crying, Fiverella? Fiverella responds, I got a lot of chores to be done. I can't go to the ball and marry Prince Quintupling. The fairy godmother said, I can help with a bit of magic. Quantity, woo! The fairy godmother's magic did all the chores and then turned Fiverella's do-rag and ribbed dress into a gown and crown. Fiverella said, I've never seen such a quintastic dress. And get a load of my glass slippers. But she's not done yet. The fairy godmother said, Fetch me. Fiverella, go fetch me a good old pumpkin. Luckily, Fiverella has 5 pumpkins. And the fairy godmother turned the 5 pumpkins into a handsome coach. It's drawn by 10 strong horses. The fairy godmother said, Have fun, Fiverella, but I would warn you, return home before midnight, or the spell will be broken. Fiverella accepted the warning. Meanwhile, at the ball, Prince Quintupling said, Who should I marry? Fiona, Isabella, Verona, and Ella said all together, He's walking towards me. Well, he's not walking towards any of them, but Prince Quintupling is walking towards Fiverella. Fiverella and Prince Quintupling danced happily together. But later, Fiverella realized it's almost midnight, so she scurried out of the ball. And when she was running so fast, she lost one of her glass slippers. Prince Quintupling was so worried that she might never see Fiverella again. So he traveled all around Fiveham to find her, bringing the tiny glass slipper with him. He knocked on the door where Fiverella and her 4 ugly mean stepsisters live. Prince Quitone said to her stepsisters, Ladies, I have a favor to ask. Can any of you try on this glass slipper? Fiona is first. But her foot is too small. Isabella is next, but her foot is too big. Verona and Ella are last, but neither of the feet match. Suddenly, Prince Quitone noticed Fiverella's sweet singing. Prince Quitone, is that really you? Of course it's me, Fiverella. Fiverella is so excited because she's happy to have her Prince Quitone back. And they all lived happily ever after. The end. And take care, Andrew Stewards. Don't forget to subscribe, like, and share. Bye. And now, Andrew Knows Everything proudly presents Cinderella. It is based on the story of Cinderella, with a bit of a twist. Once upon a time, there was a young girl named Cinderella. Cinderella had 4 ugly, mean, wicked stepsisters named Nina, Isabella, Natalia, and Ella. Nina, Isabella, Natalia, and Ella made Cinderella do all the chores. Sweep the floors, wash the dishes, do it all, said Nina, Isabella, Natalia, and Ella all together. One day, the king of Nottingham's messenger arrives and says, Hear ye, the king of Nottingham is going to throw a ball, and whoever has the most beautiful gown and crown shall marry his son, Prince Nottingham. But Cinderella is not welcome. Her stepsisters are. He's going to marry me, said Nina. Isabella said, No way, Nina! He's going to marry me! Natalia said, Both of you are wrong! He's going to marry me! Ella said, All 3 of you are wrong! He's going to marry me! Later, Cinderella is so sad about not going to the ball and marrying Prince Nottingham while doing chores. Suddenly, her fairy godmother arrives and asks Cinderella what's wrong by saying, Why are you crying, Cinderella? Cinderella responds, I can't go to the ball and marry Prince Nottingham, but I have lots of chores to be done. Cinderella's fairy godmother said, I can help with a bit of magic, and waves her magic wand. Because of that, Cinderella's chores are all done. But her fairy godmother is not done yet. She said, Cinderella, go fetch me a pumpkin and some mice. Luckily, Cinderella has 9 pumpkins and 18 mice. Cinderella's fairy godmother waves her magic wand again to tell her the 9 pumpkins into a handsome coach, the 18 mice into horses, and Cinderella's rich clothes into a gown and crown. Cinderella said, I've never seen such a non-fantastic gown, and get a load of my glass slippers. How can I ever thank you enough? Cinderella's fairy godmother said, Well, you can't. But have fun, Cinderella. But I would warn you, return home before midnight, or the spell will be broken, and everything will change back to the way it was before. Cinderella accepted the warning. Meanwhile, at the ball, Prince Nottingham was wondering who he should marry. He's walking towards me, said Nina, Isabella, Natalia, and and Ella all together, but he's not walking towards any of them. He's walking towards Cinderella. May I have this dance? Asks Prince Nonaply. Cinderella responds, I would be delighted. Cinderella and Prince Nonaply dance happily together. But later, Cinderella realizes it's almost midnight. So she scurried out of the ball, and she was running so fast that she lost one of her glass slippers. Prince Nonaply was so worried that he might never see Cinderella again. So he traveled all around Nonaply to find her and brought the glass slipper with him. By the time he arrives, he knocks on the door of the home where Cinderella, Nina, Isabella, and Natalia and Ella lived. But instead of Cinderella, he finds Nina, Isabella, Natalia, and Ella. Prince Nonaply then said, Ladies, I have a favor to ask. Can any of you try on this glass slipper? Nina is first, but her foot is too big. Isabella is next, but her foot is too small. Natalie and Ella did the same thing, but none of their feet are the right size either. Suddenly, Prince Nonaply noticed Cinderella's sweet singing. The glass slipper fits! Cinderella gets so excited because she's happy to have Prince Nonaply back. And they both lived happily ever after. The end. Andrew's Doers, I hope you enjoyed this story. And if you want to see some sequels to Cinderella, something like that, etc., tell your friends about it. And don't forget to subscribe, like, and share on Andrew Does Everything. And buy our merchandise too on AndrewDoesEverything.com. Take care. Bye. And now, Andrew Does Everything proudly presents 15erella. It is based on the story of Cinderella. Let's tell you the story, shall we? Once upon a time, there was a young girl named 15erella. 15erella had 7 ugly, mean, wicked stepsisters named Fiona, Isabella, Farah, Tina, Eliza, Eloise, and Nina. All 7 of them made 15erella do all the chores. Sweep the floors, wash the dishes, do it all, said 15, Fiona to Nina all together. One day, the king of Quintuppingham's messengers arrived and said, Hear ye, the king of Quintuppingham is going to throw a ball, and whoever has the most beautiful gown and crown shall marry his son, Prince Quintuppling. But 15erella is not welcome. Her stepsisters are. They then argue over who will marry Prince Quintuppling. Later, 15erella is so sad doing chores about not going to the ball and marrying Prince Quintuppling. Suddenly, her fairy godmother asks 15erella what's wrong by saying, Why are you crying, 15erella? 15erella responds in whimper, I can't go to the ball and marry Prince Quintuppling, but I have lots of chores to be done. 15erella's fairy godmother said, I can help with a bit of magic. She chants the magic words, Quintadentity, Quintadentity, Quindu, and waves her magic wand. Because of that, 15erella's chores are done, but her fairy godmother is not done yet. She said, 15erella, go fetch me a pumpkin. Luckily, 15erella has 15 pumpkins. 15erella's fairy godmother chants the magic words, Quintadentity, Quintadentity, Quindu, again, and waves her magic wand again to turn the 15 pumpkins into a handsome coach drawn by 30 strong horses. And then 15-Arella's ripped clothes into a gown and crown. 15-Arella said, I've never seen such a quintuplet-tastic gown, and get a load of my glass slippers. Fairy Godmother, how can I ever thank you enough? 15-Arella's fairy godmother said, well, you can't. But have fun, 15-Arella, but I would warn you. Return home before midnight, or the spell will be broken, and everything will change back to the way it was before. 15-Arella accepted the warning. Meanwhile, at the ball, Prince Quintuplet was wondering who he should marry. Fiona to Nina say all together, he's walking towards me! But he's not walking towards any of them. He's walking towards 15-Arella. Prince Quintuplet then asks, may I have this dance? 15-Arella responds, I would be delighted. 15-Arella and Prince Quintuplet danced happily together. But later, 15-Arella realized it's almost midnight, so she scurried out of the ball, and she was running so fast that she lost one of her glass slippers. Prince Quintuplet was really worried that he might never see 15-Arella again, so he traveled all around Quintuplet to find her and brought the glass slipper with him. By the time he arrives, he knocks on the door of the home where 15-Arella and her ugly, mean, wicked stepsisters lived. But instead of 15-Arella, Prince Quintuplet finds Fiona to Nina. He then said, ladies, I have a favor to ask. Can any of you try on this glass slipper? Fiona is first, but her foot is too big. Isabella is next, but her foot is too small. The rest are the same, but none of their feet are the right size. Suddenly, Prince Quintuplet notices 15-Arella's sweet singing. The glass slipper fits! 15-Arella gets so excited because she's happy to have Prince Quintuplet back. And they both lived happily ever after. The end. I hope you enjoyed this story, Andrews Doers. And if you want to see some sequels, tell your friends about it. And maybe I can do it. A big tradition. Take care. Bye. And now, Andrew does everything. Proudly presents 25-Arella. It is based on the story of Cinderella with a bit of a twist. Let's tell you the story, shall we? Once upon a time, there was a young woman named 25-Arella. 25-Arella had 10 ugly, mean, and wicked stepsisters named Tina, Winona, Elena, Nina, Tanya, Yadina, Fiona, Isabella, and Verona, and Erica. All 25 of them made 25-Arella do all the chores and watch her work. 25-er wench! Sweep the floors, wash the dishes, do it all, said Tina to Erica all together. One day, the king of Quintuplet's messenger arrives and says, Hear ye, hear! Hear ye, hear ye! The king of Quintuplet is going to throw a ball with lots of food at 9 o'clock. At 11 o'clock his dance time, and whoever has the most beautiful gown and crown shall marry his son, Prince Quintuplet. Can I come? Asks 25-Arella, but she's not welcome. Her ugly, mean, wicked stepsisters are. Tina and Erica are. He's going to marry me, said Tina, the oldest stepsister. No way, Tina, you're wrong. He's going to marry me, said Winona. Both of you are wrong. He's going to marry me, said Elena. The rest said, all three of you are wrong. He's going to marry me. They then tear 25-year-old's best party dress. Later, 25-year-old is so sad, upset, and distraught about not going to the ball and marrying Prince Queen Vegetopling. Suddenly, her fairy godmother arrives and comforts her. There now, 25-year-old. I can help with a bit of magic. And so, she chants the magic words. Quantity, vigitantity, quinto, quantity, vigitantity, quinvoo, and waves her magic wand. Because of that, 25-year-old's chores are all done, and her best party dress is fixed and grown bigger and better. 25-year-old says, I've never seen such a queen vegetable-tastic gown. And get a load of my glass slippers. But 25-year-old, this fairy godmother's not done yet. She said, 25-year-old, go fetch me a pumpkin. Luckily, 25-year-old has 25 pumpkins and 50 mice. 25-year-old's fairy godmother chants the magic words. Quantity, vigitity, quantity, vigitantity, quinvoo, and waves her magic wand again to turn the 25 pumpkins into a handsome coach, and the 50 mice into horses. 25-year-old climbs into the coach. Her fairy godmother says, have fun, 25-year-old, but I would warn you. Return home before midnight, or the spell will be broken, and everything will change back to the way it was before. And so, 25-year-old accepted the warning. Meanwhile, at the ball, Prince Queen Vegetopling was wondering who he should marry. Tina, Winona, Elena, Nina, Tanya, Irina, Fiona, Isabella, Verona, and Erica say all together, he's walking towards me! But he's not walking towards any of them. Prince Queen Vegetopling is walking towards 25-year-old. May I have this dance? Asked Queen Vegetopling. To which 25-year-old responds, I would be delighted. Prince Queen Vegetopling and 25-year-old dance happily together. But later, 25-year-old realizes it's almost midnight, so she scurried out of the ball. And she was running so fast that she lost one of her glass slippers. Prince Queen Vegetopling was so worried that he might never see 25-year-old again. The king of Queen Vegetopling and comforts him by saying, There now, son. I think we'll be able to find 20-year-old, he said. And so, they began their journey all around the neighborhood to find 25-year-old and brought the only glass slipper with them. By the time they arrive, they knock on the door of the house where 25-year-old and her ugly, mean, wicked stepsisters lived. But instead of 25-year-old, they find her 10 ugly, mean, wicked stepsisters. Tina to Erica. Prince Queen Vegetopling then says, ladies, my father and I have a favor to ask. Can any of you draw on this glass slipper? Tina is first, but her foot is too big. Winona is next, but her foot is too small. Nonsense! It fits, she said. The rest did the same, but none of their feet are the right size. Suddenly, the Prince Queen Vegetopling and the King and Queen Vegetopling hear 25-year-old singing, Prince Queen Vegetopling, is that you? 25-year-old hollered excitedly, and the glass slipper fits. And 25-year-old Prince Queen Vegetopling and the King of Queen Vegetopling lived happily ever after. The end. I hope you enjoyed this story, Andrew's Doers. Don't forget to subscribe, like, and share on Andrew Does Everything. And buy our merchandise at AndrewDoesEverything.com. Take care. Bye. And now, Andrew's Doers, Andrew Does Everything proudly presents 27erella. It is based on the story of Cinderella, with a bit of a twist. Once upon a time, there was a young woman named 27erella. 27erella had 11 ugly, mean, wicked stepsisters named Tina, Winona, Elena, Nina, Tanya, Yelena, Sophia, Ella, Veronica, Esme, and Naomi. 11 of them made fun of 27erella and made her do all the chores. 27er wench! Sweep the floors, wash the dishes, do it all! Said 27erella's ugly, mean, wicked stepsisters all together. One day, the king of 27ville's messenger arrives and says, "Hear ye, hear ye! The king of 27ville is going to throw a ball with lots of food at 9 o'clock and it's dance time. And whoever has the most beautiful gown and crown shall marry his son, Prince Seven Widget Toppling. Can I come?" asks 27erella. But she's not welcome. Her ugly, mean, wicked stepsisters are. "He's going to marry me," said Tina, the oldest stepsister. "No way, Tina, wrong. He's going to marry me," said Winona. "Both of you are wrong. He's going to marry me," said Elena. The rest say, "All three of you are wrong. He's going to marry me." Later, 27erella is so sad, upset, and distraught about not going to the ball and marrying Prince Seven Widget Toppling. Suddenly, her fairy godmother arrives and comforts her. There, now, 27erella. I can help with a bit of magic. Nobody will know it's you." And so, she chants the magic words, "A lot 27 pianos," and waves her magic wand. Because of that, 27erella's chores are all done. But 27erella's fairy godmother is not done yet. She said, "27erella, go fetch me a pumpkin and some mice." Luckily, 27erella has 27 pumpkins and 54 mice. 27erella's fairy godmother chants the magic words, "A lot 27 pianos," and waves her magic wand again to turn the 27 pumpkins into a handsome coach. The four mice into strong horses, and then 27erella's were closed into a gown and crown. 27erella says, "I've never seen such a Seven Widget Toppling-tastic gown!" and get a load of my glass slippers, and climbed into the coach. 27erella's fairy godmother said, "Have fun, 27erella, but I would warn you, return home before midnight, or the spell will be broken and everything will change back to normal." And so, 27erella accepts the warning. Meanwhile, at the ball, Prince Seven Widget Toppling was wondering who he should marry. The king of 27ville suggests, "What about 27erella?" In which Prince Seven Widget Toppling says yes. And not a minute too soon, 27erella arrives in the ball just in time. 27erella's ugly, mean, wicked stepsisters named Tina, Winona, Elena, Nina, Tanya, Nina, Sophia, Ella, Veronica, and Naomi say, "He's walking towards me altogether," but he's not walking towards any of them. Prince Seven Widget Toppling is walking towards 27erella. He then asks, May I have this dance?" said Prince Seven Widget Toppling, to which 27erella says, "I would be delighted." And so, Prince Savage, Toppling, and 27-Arella dance happily together. But later, 27-Arella realizes almost midnight, so she scurried out of the ball. And she was running so fast that she lost one of her glass slippers. Prince Savage, Toppling was so worried and sad that he might never see 27-Arella again. The king of 27 Seville comforts him by saying, There now, son. I think we'll be able to find 27-Arella, he said. And so, they began their journey all around the neighborhood to find 27-Arella and brought the glass slipper she was with them. By the time they arrived, they knocked on the door of the house where 27-Arella and her 11 ugly, mean, wicked stepsisters lived. But instead of 27-Arella, they find her ugly, mean, wicked stepsisters, Tina and Naomi. Prince Savage says, Ladies, my father, the king of 27ville, and I have a favor to ask. Can any of you try on this glass slipper? Tina is first. But her foot is too big. Winona says, but her foot is too small. Nonsense! It fits! The rest are the same, but none of their feet are the right size. Suddenly, Prince Savage, Toppling, and the king of 27ville, known as 27-Arella's sweet singing. Prince Savage, Toppling, is that you? 27-Arella heart exciting. The king of 27-Arella, 27ville. Says, My dear daughter-in-law, we found you! Exclaims the king of 27ville, and the glass slipper fits! And so, 27-Arella, Prince Savage, Toppling, and the king of 27ville lived happily ever after. The end. And Andrew's Doors, I hope you enjoyed this story. And I've been debating on making them some sequels. And don't forget to subscribe, like, and share, and introduce everything. Buy our merchandise, etc. Take care. Bye. And now, Introduce Everything proudly presents 45-Arella. It is based on the story of Cinderella with a bit of a plot twist. Let's tell you the story, shall we? Once upon a time, there was a young adult girl named 45-Arella. 45-Arella had 9 ugly, mean, wicked stepsisters named Farah, Ophelia, Ramona, Tanya, Yadina, Fiona, Isabella, Verona, and Ella. All of them constantly made fun of 45-Arella and made her do all the chores. 45er wench! Sweep the floors, wash the dishes, do it all, said them all together. One day, the king of 40 Queen Quadriga Tummingham's messenger arrives and says, Hear ye, the king of Queen Quadriga Tummlingham, his royal, kind, wise, bold majesty, is going to throw a ball, and whoever has the most beautiful gown and crown shall marry his son, Prince Queen Quadriga Toppling. Can I come? Asked 45-Arella. She's not welcome. Her ugly, mean, wicked stepsisters are. They ran with huge excitement and picked out dresses to wear to the ball, but argue over who will marry Prince Queen Quadriga Toppling. He's going to marry me, said Farah, the oldest stepsister, but her younger sisters disagree. They even tear 45-Arella's best party dress. Later, 45-Arella is so sad, distraught, and upset about not going to the ball and marrying Prince Queen Quadriga Toppling. Suddenly, her fairy godmother arrives and comforts 45-Arella. There now, my dear 45-Arella, she said. I'll fix everything for you. Nobody will know it's you. She then waves her magic wand. Because of that, 45-year-old's chores are all done. But her fairy godmother's not done yet. She said, 45-Rella, go fetch me a pumpkin and some mice. Luckily, 45-Rella has 45 pumpkins and 90 mice. 45-Rella's fairy godmother waves her magic wand again to turn the 45 pumpkins into a handsome coach, the 90 mice into horses, and fixes 45-Rella's now torn dress and makes it bigger and better. 45-Rella said, I've never seen such a quadrigen-tastic gown! And get it out of my glass slippers! Fairy godmother, how can I ever thank you enough? And climbed to the coach. 45-Rella's fairy godmother said, well, 45-Rella, my dear, you can't but have fun, but I will warn you. Return home before midnight, or the spell will be broken and everything will change back to the way it was before. And gave her a clock to tell her what time it is. And so, 45-Rella accepted the warning. Meanwhile, at the ball, the king of Queen Quadrigen Tumblingham says, good evening, everyone. Prince Queen Quadrigen Tumbling was wondering who he should marry. Isn't that right, son? To which Prince Queen Quadrigen Tumbling responds, yes, father. Suddenly, 45-Rella arrives at the ball just in time. He's walking towards me! Say Farah, Ophelia, Ramona, Tanya, Irina, Fiona, Isabella, Verona, and Ella all together. But Prince Queen Quadrigen Tumbling is not walking towards any of them. He's walking towards 45-Rella. He then says, may I please have this dance in which 45-Rella responds, I will be delighted and happy to. And so, 45-Rella and Prince Queen Quadrigen Tumbling dance happily together, but later. As 45-Rella checks her clock and it's almost midnight. So she scurried out of the ball and she was running so fast that she lost one of her glass slippers. Prince Queen Quadrigen Tumbling was really worried that he might never see 45-Rella again. The king of Queen Quadrigen Tumblingham comforts him by saying, there now, son. I think we'll be able to find 45-Rella, my dear daughter-in-law. And so, the king of Queen Quadrigen Tumblingham and the prince of Queen Quadrigen Tumbling began their journey all around the neighborhood, Queen Quadrigen Tumblingham, to find 45-Rella, and brought the glass slippers she lost with them. By the time they arrive, Prince Queen Quadrigen Tumbling knocks on the door of the house where 45-Rella and her 9 ugly, mean, wicked stepsisters lived. But instead of 45-Rella, they find Fiona to Ella. Prince Queen Quadrigen Tumbling says, for Ella, ladies, my father, the king of Queen Quadrigen Tumblingham, and I have a favor to ask. Can any of you try on this glass slipper? Farah is first, but her foot is too so big. Olivia is next, but her foot is too small. Nonsense! It fits, she said. The rest did the same, but none of their feet are the right size. Suddenly, they noticed 45-Rella sweet singing. Your kind, bold, wise majesty. Prince Quadrigen Tumbling, is that you guys? She heard excitedly. My dear daughter-in-law, 45-Rella, we found you, said the king of Queen Quadrigen Tumblingham. And the glass slipper fits. And then 45-Rella, the king of Queen Quadrigen Tumblingham, and the Prince Queen Quadrigen Tumbling lived happily ever after. The end. I hope you enjoyed this story, Andrews Doers. Don't forget to subscribe, like, and share on Andrew Does Everything, and buy our merchandise at AndrewDoesEverything.com. and take care. Bye.